punter, to another episode of Tipster. Mick, how are you, mate?
Mate, doing better than well. Geez, you sound like you've had a big night in the sauce, mate.
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't know about these head colds for the last couple of years because COVID sort of kept us away from them, and then got reminded of a couple of days ago, bang. So here I am with the croaky voice. This is the Sunday morning voice, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's in full flare. Here we are, punters. We're almost to the end of the Winter Carnival. Mick, how's it been for you?
Very quiet, mate. I've taken a bit of time off, so just doing
Bit of
a bit of form here and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just time off the punt and doing some form here and there, but looking at a few horses on English Digital as well. Keep myself busy anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, I've been keeping it going. I've been actually, I've been having a good run. Last weekend, not so good. But I did the old get out, Mick.
How good's the get out stage?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. I'd be interested to hear what punters think. What's their get out strategy? You know, I'm doing no good, and we get towards the end of the Rose Hill program. I say, what am I going to do? And the old faithful. For me, the get out is get a race, get a track, a course where you can sort of eliminate a lot of horses based on the speed map, especially if it all lines up. 1200 Rose Hill, start on the bend. You can sort of do that, purring away, $5 enough to sort of load up a bit.
Trumpet.
Bang. There we go.
Outstanding.
Cheering all the way. Good old Daz Flindell calls at home and you're laughing. So, how about yourself, Mick? You got your old get out?
Yeah, I think so. I think get out, just for mine, it's just about assessing track patterns. If I'm looking for a bet in the last race of the day, I'll just go through the previous 7, 8, 9 races and check out what's been happening on the track. Any potential track bias there, and bet accordingly. And then probably the upside there is you can probably back a couple of runners and stake up as you get towards the end of the day if you do see a pattern. Yeah. And you get yourself out a bit of strife. Yeah,
look, and you hear from the punters, Pike in the last. There's probably less sophisticated ones.
Bjorn Baker in the last. He's flying last race, Bjorn. Yeah.
Is that right? So
it's a bet too, Bjorn.
Be really keen to hear what the punters have got to say. Punters, what's your get out? What's your get out strategy? Just type it down below wherever you're watching it, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Wherever, tell us what it is. Post it down there. Love to hear them. There's some classics.
Well, I reckon I'll read out the best one next show. So send them in. I'll read it out. Give you a bit of a shout out.
Yeah, there we go. So of course we're in June, and in June, at the start of June, Mick, we always look at May and see who won the most. Punters, media, the whole lot. We're starting with the top 5, counting everybody, but you wouldn't know it because what we see here on the leaderboard are 5 pros lined up, not a media inside.
And I tell you what, mate, in the fair dinkum department, this bloke at the top, he's been dominant since we started this show, nearly over a year ago. He's just continued. At one stage, it was the Metho Man show. On top, we have Gary Monahan, $27.72. Yep. You are cracking jokes, Gaz. Yeah. You're a genius. Talk to me.
Well, look, just look at the stats. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Big prices. I mean, okay, you get your lower pot, but to be there, he has to pass the whole test, right? 30 tips, 6 winners, etc. I mean, you can only raise the bar high enough. But if he's got the pro symbol next to him, that means he's been winning consistently since we spoke last. So,
and mate, 72 tips, 131% profit on turnover.
Absolutely.
Enough said.
So punters looking at this, come to the site. You can look up Gary Monahan, probably harder to remember than Metho Man, M-E-T-H-O Man. Stick that into the search bar, you'll find him, follow him, get an alert when he tips, or back his bets or buy his tips or whatever you want to do. That's the guy to follow.
He's the guy to follow. Yeah. And second place, managed in the middle of in the podium position anyway. Kevin Saber there.
Yeah, so Kevin's an ex-Rails bookie in Victoria. Yeah, so Kevin...
Another smarty.
Well, look, there's going to be a bit
Tell you what, mate, we've got some smarties on the site.
Definitely, and I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about more of them and more of this bookie link as we go on, but Kevin's one of those ex-bookies, knows what he's on about.
Yep.
$9.36 there, and he's tipping, he's backing winners at $9.36, and he's finding one every 4 in the month. Like, hello.
Excuse me, I mean, I'd like you to do that back in $3 winners.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what there, mate, and aptly named Basher 43. Well, he's fed in given the bookies are hiding, so well named there, son. Your parents have done well.
Basher was on the leaderboard last week, so this is 2 in a row.
Something.
He's in the prize money again, so we give out $1,000 every
I've never got that. Where's my money?
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Hey, mate, rounding out the top 3, what do we got there? Ryan Sorbara.
So
that's a name and art.
Yeah, Ryan's he's pretty active on Twitter. He's a big support group there too. They love him. Flying Ryan is the alias.
Love that.
Goes well. Look at these stats again. 822, 124% pot. It's interesting. We put this pot figure up, profit on turnover.
Yeah.
A lot of punters well, some punters don't know what that's all about, but I'll tell you something now. If you're in the hundreds, you're in triple, you're doing ridiculously well. You do in 10%, you're doing ridiculously well.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
Triple's outstanding. So that's what these guys are doing. And Pushkin there, look, another big price finder. 67 tips in the month.
Yeah.
And again, all triple digits, all pros.
I'll tell you what, mate, it was a very, very hard month to make money. Always generally is, and you can sort of tell there the angle here is it's not a high strike rate with low average prices. These guys are finding value and they've done extremely well. So
absolutely.
Next winner, keep an eye out for these guys. Just a winner, got 2 more months to go. 2 more months? Where are we? Geez. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's so look out for these guys on the site, Mick. Obviously.
Absolutely, check them out.
All right. Okay, so this is the second half of Tipster of the Month. We're looking at the media tipsters, Mick, and of course none of these appeared in the top 5 because it was all pros, all punters.
Yep.
But now we're going to look at the top 5 media experts. Of course, the greattipoff.com has all the top media experts on the site.
Where to go? It's the only place you can go to find them.
Absolutely, free tips. It's all there. But look, here's the list, Mick. We've got Nick Burney. Know much about Nick?
Yeah, he's just come from Racing New South Wales and jumped on the Sky Media team, Sky Racing team, and is focusing and pretty much may potentially taken over what Brad Gray's done.
Okay.
Brad's moved into another slot on a Saturday. So yeah, Nick's doing a fantastic job. He's getting his 49% profit on turnover. Nice way to kick off.
Yeah, $4 winners.
Keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on him. It's obviously, you can get in there early and have a good go.
Out of the gates. He's pinged out of the gates. He's gone straight to the front.
It's a staying test. We'll see. We'll follow him up next. Month. But well done, Nick. That's a super effort.
Good effort.
Well done, mate. Awesome.
Colin McNiff there. So ex-New South Welshman, obviously does his calling in Tassie these days.
Yeah.
Knows how to tip. I mean, this is not the first time we've seen Colin there.
He's a regular.
Goes well.
Yeah,
it goes well. 41% pot.
Yeah.
Remember too, these guys are having the tip, or Colin is at least having the tip in every race.
Yeah.
Makes it a bit tough as a race caller. Another race call, Russell Leonard, Rocky expert, Rockhampton expert.
Love it.
He's one of Chargie's mates. Gets in there. Can you imagine what goes on with Russell Leonard and Chargie? They're on the road. They're in Rockhampton. There's Chargie with the mic downstairs. Russell Leonard's calling the race. They're finished.
Yeah.
What do you reckon's happening after that?
Oh, mate, just straight to bed.
Going straight to bed.
Yeah.
Chargie, straight to bed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe. Good old Mick Manley. So Mick Manley.
What a man.
Yeah, look, came over to the GTO from the news stable.
Yep.
And look, this is not a flash in the pan. Mick's been shooting the lights out.
Certainly has.
He had a result a couple of weeks ago where he'd tipped like 6 or 7 out of 8 as I look at my notes here, and he's going very well. And Matt Welsh there, of course, from racing.com.
Yeah, smart punter back in the day, Matt Welsh. He transitioned into the racing media, and he's obviously kicking goals, doing good things. And he's a great presenter as well, well spoken. And punters, if you're out there, want to find someone to follow down in Victoria, he's well worth a look at.
Absolutely. Hey, and while we're on it, we were talking about bookies before there with Kevin Saber and the Tiger Bet alias. So Scotty McCormack, son of Terry.
We'll go with Terry.
No, yes, no. Anyhow, I'm just trying to think of his name now. No, we're not going to go. Anyhow, Scott McCormack, bookie, son of the Western Australian bookie out there. 6 months in a row. 6 months in a row. Last 180 days, 50% profit on turnover.
I'm going to describe him simply as just a jet.
Pete McCormack. I knew it was coming.
There you go.
I knew it was coming.
There you go.
Pete McCormack.
Just in, Pete. It's Pete, mate. It's Pete. Yeah, good on you.
Pete McCormack. But this is this whole bookie thing.
Yeah.
Pete, Scott, they know their craft.
Yep.
Again, Western Australia.
Yeah.
Obviously smaller set of horses, but 6 months in a row.
Pete wouldn't be Sandgroper, would he?
No,
another one.
That's another one.
These are some jets
Actually,
over there.
he's the Sandgroper, I think. And we've got Sandgroper as well. That's our
the McCormack clan, fair income, can tip you in a winner. So there you go, punters. 6 winning months in a row. Tell you what, there's a get-out strategy for you. Maybe just jump on the great tip-off. Just look at some WA data and away you go.
Scott McCormack, Pete McCormack, and there's a whole range of them.
Every.
All right, so keeping in tune with what we've done in the past, Mick, we get the tipsters in who have shot the lights out in the previous month to give us an exclusive free tip.
Love that.
Yeah, you're not even going to get these in any publication at the speed you'll get this. So when we put this out, you're getting the best bet early, or their best bet, their best tip, or whatever it might be.
Outstanding.
First cab off the rank, we have Brad Waters from RaceNet.
Oh.
But, RaceNet, I should say news, because he was originally on RaceNet.
Yep.
Probably see him more now in the Herald Sun Daily Telegraph.
Yep.
Again, I want to mention this because before he puts his tip in, he has to give it to you Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Which is when we're filming it. No problems with him because that's when he puts all his selections in, right?
Yeah, right.
But he's been the highest cash profit maker. So 6,000 plus cash profit if you backed all his tips.
Yep.
He's putting them in 3 days before. Absolutely on fire. Let's hear what Brad Waters has got for us.
Let's go.
Hey punters, it's Brad Waters from the Herald Sun here. The great tip-off marks are from RaceNet, but they don't publish most of my tips on RaceNet, but they do every day on the Herald Sun. So go there for any tips if you're looking for mine. This week, I thought the best of the day at Sandown was Scissor Step in race 2, number 7. From the Matthew Allen stable. Excellent effort behind the very, very smart Star Patrol at Flemington down the straight, giving it 4 or 5 kilos on that instance. Drops back to 54 kilos here against the older horses and doesn't mind the wet tracks at all. 1,000 metres will be his go, and expecting him to run a bold race. What I thought that might be one at odds is Dawn Patrol in the last at about $21. I didn't mind the run first up in Australia in the Fian Stakes, first up last time in, and didn't mind the fact that drops back to open company, 1,800 metres first up, and happy to have a little play at him at about $21 in the last. So they're the two from me. So race 2, number 7, Scissor Step, and race 9, number 4, Dawn Patrol. Good punting.
All right, so next cab off the rank, Mick, is Michael Manley. Michael Manley, ex-Herald Sun.
Yep.
Started writing content with us, I was going to say a year ago. It was probably
A bit longer than that, a couple of years now.
Years are going quick. But Mick Manley, he's had a bumper, mate. $2.5 profit if you put $100 on each tip. And he started off in June the same way, so he's going nuts in June. Definitely one to watch. Here's his free exclusive tip.
Hello, Michael Manley. I'm at Tipster for the Great Tip-Off. They've asked me to provide a best bet for Saturday's meeting at Sandown Hillside. A little bit about myself. I'm a veteran racing journalist. I work for all the main papers in Melbourne. Left the Herald Sun 2 years ago. For the last 8 years, I was their main form man. I picked several Melbourne Cup winners there, won several media tipping awards. I've also worked for Geelong Advertiser, The Age and AAP. I'm loving tipping for the Great Tip-Off. That's the only place I tip for these days. Such a modern, informative, great website. I do lots of replays and sectionals for Saturday, which is my main day tipping. I start doing form cut from Wednesday, looking at speed maps, listening to what track managers have to say, trying to get the race pattern right. Follow lots of informed jockeys, trainers and horses. My best bet for Saturday is a gun little Warrnambool sprinter called Ashford Street. He won well at Caulfield last start, sitting when he took a sit behind Young Liam and Surrey Legend. No Young Liam on Saturday, but he's got Surrey Legend to sit behind. He loves a heavy track. He won at Warrnambool, and hopefully he'll get the money for us on Saturday. So that's Ashford Street, race 2, number 3. Good luck, punters.
All right, so Mick, to finish off, we've got to get Gazza back, right?
Absolutely.
Metho Man.
There's one man I want to tip from.
Yeah,
Who's the man?
He's going to give us an exclusive one. You ready for it?
Let's go.
Hello, I'm Gary Monahan, or AKA Metho Man on the Great Tip-Off. I'm from New South Wales and just love the horse racing industry as a whole, whether it's having a bit of a bet throughout the week or on Saturday, or owning a few horses. So I have a few small shares in different horses across the years. Been lucky to have a few Metro winners at Rosehill and Randwick, as well as Canterbury and Eagle Farm with some different horses. So I just enjoy having a bet, finding a long price winner, or even better is when one of your horses wins and you're at the track. Can make for a very good weekend. How I do my form? Well, I really just focus on Sydney and Melbourne Metro races on the Saturday. I feel that if I focus on that, I can have a bit of better understanding of those types of horses that run on that day. And really I'm looking for patterns, anything that I can identify that is going to make the horse improve more so than it did in its previous start. I once got some good advice from a trainer about, he was training one of our horses, and his training all came back down to patterns. So once he found a successful pattern for a horse, he just repeated that each prep, and he's a very successful trainer in Sydney. So I sort of applied that to my betting methods as well. So whether that be first up, second up, third up types of patterns where the horse runs best over that, or track conditions, different tracks as well. All those types of things might be increase in distance, 1600 up to 800 for example, 7-day backups, things like that, where you can identify whether the horse has done a lot better with one of those sort of specific criteria. Then you sort of follow that horse and look for that to occur again, and then that's when you back it. Once I've done that, I do look at some replays just to see if there is any other circumstances which may help the horse improve. So it might have been unlucky last start, might have been in the worst part of the track, etc. But obviously first I'm just looking for patterns, sort of statistics-based tipping, and then do a little bit of video review as well, just to sort of make sure that my tip, I think, is going to have a good chance. My tip for Saturday is at Sandown, race 7, number 4. The horse has got falls. Once again, just looking statistically, it's 1-1 from 1 at the track and the distance. It's 1-3 from 7 with Oliver on board. And it's got very good heavy track form with 2 wins and 2 seconds from the 5 starts. So that's the expected track conditions. So it opened up at 31s, does have a nice wide barrier. So hopefully gets a little bit of luck, gets across, leads or sits outside the leader. And yeah, I've taken the 31s already, so hopefully I can tip another winner. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, that ends another program of Tipster, Mick. There we go. The guys who knocking the lights out in May and their exclusive tips. And with that theme, of course, it's time for Mick's Moral. We're going to get some music at this stage, Nick, very soon. But
what are we thinking? What kind of music?
I could do the drum roll or something like
that.
Mick's Moral. Here we go. What is it, Mick?
Well, Rabs has got nothing to do. We get Rabs to Mick's Moral. Oh, how good are you going? Right, we're going to head to Eagle Farm. For those of you who did watch All In, you would already know what this is. But race 6, Maximal, is at the Q22 race. Maximal, Nash is on. It hasn't drawn very well, but forget that. Don't worry. It looks like there's big field, be enough speed engaged.
Were you talking about speed maps before, about you get out?
Absolutely. There you go.
Don't worry about it. Horses miles ahead by the sounds of it.
Horse will be flying over the top. It's finally got to a dry track, and $6 is just an unbelievable bet. I cannot believe that it is not favourite. It should be favourite and it should be winning.
Declaring something at a decent price there. $6 Maximal.
Yep.
Look out for that one. What else to say, Mick? I mean, obviously we've got the All In show that's out there for the Stradbroke. You can get that on the channel if you...
We covered the Stradbroke, the JJ Atkins. We also had a bit of a chat about the racing in the UK and a couple of plays there. If you want to check out punters, a couple of plays on the Everest pre-UK racing to check in. And remember, those Everest markets are pre-noms. So if the horse doesn't roll in, you will get your money back.
What is it, mate? Is it Ascot or Ascot?
Ascot.
I mean, have you heard the
Ascot?
That's what they say. Ascot. That's what the
it's like these
say.
pelicans that say bloody Derby. Give yourselves an uppercut.
Don't start me. That goes on. Derby versus Derby, right?
Christ.
Goes on and on. But hey, don't forget, punters, thegreattipoff.com is the place you go for free tips. Every media tips that you can think of. There might be one. If there's one we don't have, let us know, and we'll do what we can to get them on. They're all their stats, if they've been tipping since 2009, as some have, you'll see their stats how far back. So what other place can you get that sort of information? There's also speed maps, people selling speed maps, forms, staking plans. It's all there. It's your ultimate tipping.
The best way to summarise, mate, it's the works burger of tipping.
It's the works burger, absolutely. Or, the buffet, what are they
Speaking
called?
of buffets, mate, it's about lunchtime. So
it is about lunchtime. We better sign out.
Absolutely.
All right, punters.
Thanks, punters.
Till next month, we'll see you.